What's up, everybody? Today's a big reveal. This is Exit Confessions. This is going to be our example site that we're going to rank as we go through this process, so we can lay out all of the steps, actually step by step. You're going to watch me over the shoulder rank a site to some extent. We're going to cover the important stuff on the video so you can actually see how to do it, and we'll have a lot of written text like we have in the early stages where we taught you keyword theory and about content production. And everything that went along with it, keyword research, finding your keywords, picking your niche, and everything else we covered. So one of the first things I want to cover on here is that this is a fairly new domain. It's never had a link to it. It's never been, not one post has been shared on social media. It is out of the box. I think I bought it in November, maybe early November, maybe October. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just had an idea that since I'm basically getting to a point to where I don't want to push as hard anymore. I'm in my 50s. I'm really not going to push as hard as I used to, so I'm actually building my retirement properties right now for the next 3 to 5 years, and then I'm just going to ride it out and enjoy life. Maybe do a little bit here and there because nobody really ever retires, but I'm just going to slow things down. I'm not going to take on clients and that kind of stuff, as far as high-end clients for big sites like I used to. And but I wanted to show you this site right off. It's brand new out of the box. Like I said, never been shared once on Twitter, social media. Nobody else has ever owned the domain. And let me warn you right off the bat, don't ever use an exact match or a partial match domain. You're cutting your nose off to spite your face, and you'll understand why as we get further into the site and how we're building it. We picked our main niche, which actually is going to be something a little bit stronger than what I said, because I said it was going to be about arthritis. We're going to cover all the different types of arthritis, but it's actually about insulin resistance and how it causes problems within each of these diseases and how you can fix it. So the first category is gout, and the reason I picked that is because I had gout, so this is kind of personal to me also, and I know a lot of people are suffering from these things, so this is another reason that I wanted to do this one. So let's get started with this, because we're going to do some on page. I'm going to show you some key factors. I put the content in here and put the featured images in, but there's some things that I still need to do, and we'll go through those one by one. Get ready to sit down and enjoy this, because you're going to learn a lot. It's going to be a long video. And we're going to go through this step by step for actually putting the content in, which is already in, which anybody can do. You just pop it in there and, turn your we'll get into it in a little bit. But I wanted to show you some things first. This is the first thing I wanted to show you. This is a site command, site : and then you put your full domain in there, HTTP, www if you're using that. And it'll show every page that you have indexed. Well, I wanted to show you a couple of them because everybody will tell you that you can't hit long tails. They'll tell you it's impossible with a new site, and I'm going to tell you that that's wrong, and I'm going to prove it. So YouTube, this is an ad. So gout diet, 10 steps to uric acid. There's a video. That's what it was based off of, and then there I am. So you say, well, that's not impressive because it was really a messed up title, not really a keyword. So what we'll do is we'll go and catch this one right here. Now it was indexed 6 days ago, so I showed you how recently I put this in here. And of course it's not going to be on the first page, or it shouldn't be. It's probably on page 2. That's where it was last time I saw it. And there we go. It indexed on page 2. So you're only 3-4 links away from being in the top of search results if you're doing it the right way. In other words, outreach, maybe a guest post or 2. If you get 6 or 7 links, you're going to dominate. You're just going to run right up top because of relevance within the site. And what do I mean by relevance in the site? If you look, I've got a category for gout. And if you go to this category, there's nothing but gout in here. It is not off topic. It's very, very narrow. So I've got a few articles in there already, and we're going to go ahead and go back to the home page. But before we get going, part of what I wanted to show you, I'm going to open all these articles about gout, and I'm going to show you what made it rank, and then I'm going to show you why it ranked. And I probably have a few other places that we've done this, but I'm just going to go through these. And we're going to look for a very specific thing. And we're just going to go through these pages. So here's the first one. Does drinking beer or other alcohol cause gout? Well, if you go through, you got a link to apple cider vinegar for gout. Cherry juice. Cherry juice is the anchor text, so that page has a link to the page that's ranking. Pineapple and gout. Let's see here. Most used fiber. Okay, there's an exact match to the one that I showed you that's ranking at number 1. Imagine that, huh? So, and then I got one to the category of insulin resistance. And then we're going to go to intermittent fasting, of course. Eliminate gout, intermittent fasting, so that's not one of them. Let's see here, apple cider vinegar. Much better than cherry or cherry juice, so there's another link to that post. It's on page 2. Of course, there's not going to be one on intermittent fasting. Heart attacks, shouldn't be one there. I got one to the reverse gout, but that's a little more stout keyword. The 10 steps, that's the actual post. There's one on meat, how to reverse gout. Are you seeing a pattern here? I'm linking to other pages from within the pages. You know, the proper gout diet, that's another to the 10 steps. If you look down in the bottom right here, when I mouse over it, shows you the URL. Let's see if I got another one in here. Some outbound links, not on that one. No fasting, there shouldn't be anything on that one. So we're basically done there. And that's why this page ranks on page 2 with no links, no social signals, no power, and a brand new domain that's never been used by anybody else. So now I want to show you why those internal links work. Now I'm going to put the short story because we're not going to dig into the math. This is what every web page starts out as, a 0.15. Okay? It's got a dampening factor of 0.85. So you're going to have to get into some algebra if you want to do this. This is your standalone, and this is assuming this is a PR1 page. It doesn't mean that it has inbound links. It has no links. It just sat there long enough and it aged. And this is a theory, and it's based on Pagerank. And everybody will tell you that Pagerank is dead, but Pagerank is still part of the algorithm. Pagerank was named after Larry Page, one of the founders of Google, just so you know. It's not an actual, the rank of the page. So you start off, each one of these pages has a 0.15. Well, if you go down here and you link from A to B, internal pages, and C is left alone, you still remain at 0.15 on your PR1 page because it has no inbound links. So there's really not a link share. It's just got what it's got. The page 2 now has a 1. Well, that's quite a significant increase, right? Page C, no links inbound or outbound, 0.15, right back to the base volume. So you can actually look at how they set all this up and do the math on it, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get into all that. If you're good with algebra, that's fine. If you're not, I'm doing this for the people who are not that good at this and don't want to get into the mechanics of it or the math of it. But here's where it gets interesting. So let's say we link A to B, B to A, and then both of them. In other words, they're all reciprocating links back to each other in these 3 pages. Then you end up with a 0.575. That's a big increase for just putting internal links in there. Okay? So there's another one, and I think it's further up, that actually shows, this is an old, yeah, right here. So take this as your website, but let's make this a page instead of your website. And let's say you have a secondary authority. So this is, let's say this is your money page. In other words, if you're selling a product, you would build a page for that thing. And then this is maybe your strongest article in that category. And then the rest of the articles all link to this one. So you juice this one up pretty hard, and now it's going there. You're going to get a lot more juice out of it. Same thing there, but it's only going to be about half. So it's about a 40. They use the the leader or ruler, the council, and then the citizens as far as votes, because links are actually considered votes by Google. That's what it was all based on. Okay, so that's the gist of internal links. And you do not use anchor text when you build links to your site. You only use keyword anchor text, and you only use it one time. You use variations of it. Remember I told you to keep all those additional phrases? Well, that's why. When we were doing in keyword research, you want to keep those other phrases. You want to work some of those other phrases into more content as you put 10, 20, 30, 40 Gallup-based articles in this category. And you want to be able to use those variations to link to specific pages. And it takes a little bit of wordsmithing, but it's not that hard to do since it's so close. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into the actual site now, and we're going to do some on page. And we're going to take apple cider vinegar and gout. Now, apple cider vinegar and gout is a big keyword, and you're going to get a lot of searches from it. I'm not going to go validate it. You saw the keyword research. You can go do it yourself. You can use Google Keyword Planner to throw it in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change things up. So I'm going to edit this post, and we're going to go to the back end. Now, I want my title not to be apple cider vinegar and gout, but I do want it to be my H1. So how do I fix that? So I just scroll down here to Yoast SEO, and I'm going to hit edit snippet. And I'm going to get rid of this right here because I don't want all this other garbage in there anyway. What I do want is so that's basically all I want in there is apple cider vinegar, good or bad for gout. Now, why did I do that? Because it's going to replace the main title of this post. And that's what the title that is going to read in Google's search results. So in other words, if you type in apple cider vinegar, is apple cider vinegar good or bad for gout? Once we get the site worked up a little bit, it's going to rank for that faster than it will apple cider vinegar and gout, or gout, apple cider vinegar, apple ACV gout, you know, the very short phrases, which are where, you know, the majority of the traffic comes from. But if you start off long like this, you're going to get, is apple cider vinegar good for gout? Is apple cider vinegar bad for gout? And a host of other different phrases. One of the other ones is apple cider vinegar and baking soda for gout. Well, I already have baking soda in there. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, in fact, I need to go to my keyword tool. Where's my CSV file? Is that it right there? Let's see. Yeah, we need apple cider vinegar, so it's in here. Just need to find it. ACV and gout. Okay, so we know we got a lot of phrases up here. So see, apple cider vinegar for gout, 880, 480, 210. This is adding up, isn't it? There's over 2,000 exact matches for this phrase, and I can tell you this page right here will bring you about 1,000 visitors a day, because I've already had another site up for this and just let it go. Actually, I didn't even finish it. It was a half-hearted attempt, as I said earlier. So there's one of them right there, 140 a month just for this apple cider vinegar, good for gout. So it gives you the rundown once you get it, but let's do a little something else. Let me go ahead and just downsize that for a second, and let me pull it back up. Where did it go? And let's see, natural cures. So we're going to use this one in the description. And we're just going to write a short description. I'm going to put it in there. And I'm going to change it up. So I'm right there at the end of it. I could only put a little bit more, but I get my point across here. Apple cider vinegar has been one of many natural cures for gout according to history. But what does the science suggest concerning ACV and gout? Well, I know from my keyword list that history and science and ACV, and I also got ACV and gout. So I got one of my big keywords in there. I've got science in there. I've got apple cider vinegar. I got natural cures, and I got history in there. So I cover a lot of different keywords in there, and that makes this a lot better. That's the main thing. Now, when you're doing this, you only put something in one category. It's either one or the other. You're not crossing over. If you do put it in more than one category, you're going to end up with duplicate content issues, and that's a no-no. That is not something you want to do. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Now, I have this cool little editor, and that helps me get through this a little bit easier. It's WP Bakery. I think we have that in the course. And now, when I go up here, we're going to go back to the main site, and we're going to go back to this. Did I save that? I'm pretty sure I saved it. Let me see. Post. Let's go make sure. Thought I hit update. Snippet. Yep, it's there. So everything's good. It's just not displaying it on the main one, but let me show you a trick. So we're going to view the post. So when I view the post, put your mouse over there. Is apple cider vinegar good or bad for gout? Now, you're not going to see the description here, but you can right click and view page source, and you'll see it right there, little description. So it's in there too, just so you know. So what will show and display in Google is apple cider vinegar good or bad for gout? So we've got a lot of keywords loaded in there. So what is apple cider vinegar? pH levels, and because there was keywords about pH levels. So let's do a quick find. Control F. I ain't even really worried about it. It's not that big of a deal, but I know that it's in there. There was a question about pH levels in vinegar and gout. So we blew that one up. Better than cherry juice. Those are your internal links. Also links to the pineapple for gout. Now that doesn't mean it's going to rank for it right now, but I would imagine it's in the top 100. So let's see if it is. Let's see here. Now I tend to write longer articles, and there's a reason for it, because of NLP. Remember, natural language processing. You definitely want, oh, there we are, page 3. Pineapple for gout. The exact phrase, but it's pineapple and gout. And we haven't done the on page because we're going to do is pineapple good or bad for gout the same way. Or something similar with less search volume where we can get more keywords in it. But here it is on page 3. No links inbound to this thing, no social signals. Nobody's even really seen this thing other than me and my wife. And we haven't shared it anywhere. This is the first time anybody's seeing it, and you're seeing it on a video, so that's not a link as of right now. And we're not going to link to the site either from the YouTube channel. So we're going to keep it clean. We're going to go through the process like it's supposed to. So anyway, the next thing that we want to do is we want to have these H1s. There we are, repeating it again. Is it a natural? Apple cider vinegar is a natural treatment for gout. So we have natural treatment now instead of cure. So we just threw another keyword in there. Does vinegar treat gout? That was another. Or how does vinegar treat gout? So they want to know. Now, here's another important thing. If you look down here in the bottom, right here, you'll see care.diabetesjournal.com, and see that's the government, that's peer reviewed, peer reviewed, peer reviewed, peer reviewed. So that's all PubMed stuff. So I'm sourcing my information. Do apple cider vinegar soaps work? Somebody actually asked that. That was one of the keywords. Well, we answered the question. Do the pills work? And I've answered all of these questions and given detail. Now I have experience with this. I'll have to research more when I get into another category, but I already know the outcome because I've done enough research into insulin resistance, and I know that that's ultimately what causes gout. It's the same thing that causes type 2 diabetes, other types of arthritis, fibromyalgia, all these different problems that people are having. We are poisoning ourselves with sugars and carbs, and we're eating all day, every day. And that's got to stop. So this is the basics of on page. Let's see here. Let's go through pineapple and gout and just go ahead and edit that one, because I haven't done that one yet. Edit post, and we'll go back down to Yoast SEO and go through the same process just so you can see it again. And then we'll go through the headlines on this one. And this page is, what was it? Pineapple and gout. Okay, let's put pain in this one. Remember pain and swelling. Because I really don't care about the long tail. I'm worried about getting keywords in there that people are going to search for. And we're going to open up the spreadsheet and we're going to go to, what was that? Pineapple. I'm tired, folks. You got to give me a little break here. So let's find pineapple down here. Pineapple and gout. And let's see what kind of search volume we have on these. There's less for it, but let me tell you something, there's more traffic there. You'll get about 200 or so. We'll end up with 200, 300, 400 visitors a day on this page. And we got this first two is pineapple good for gout, is pineapple bad for gout, so we know we can combine those. But these are our search volume, pineapple and gout. Now I didn't reverse them to do gout and pineapple, so I didn't even go thoroughly, and I know there's more traffic than this here. So we look at, and you just go through there. There's all these variations. These are phrases that you can use in your other internal articles about gout, and actually use that as the anchor text within. Don't use the same one twice. Just don't make that mistake. It's easy to over optimize. That's why I said only use one once. And if you do enough pages, let's say you put 25 pages in there, you're going to have 25 different variations of pineapple and gout in your anchor text. It's going to rank. I promise you, it's going to rank. And it's probably going to rank pretty well before you get that far, and especially once you start putting links to it. And we'll get to that part here shortly. But you understand the point, and I've got that taken care of. Let me go ahead and find the long tail phrase for this. Does pineapple cause gout? Pineapple juice and gout, pineapple good for gout, bad for gout. So we'll just go with the pineapple good and bad for gout. We'll see for gout relief. So let's just go write a meta description real quick. So now we've got another description, and we've got some keywords in there. So we have, does it work? Because people will actually search for that. It's in the keyword phrases. And I know I've done this site before. Well, this part of it, a small part of it. We're going to do it much bigger this time. I'm going to go ahead and hit update. And we're going to view the post. As soon as it loads, post. And show you what's cool about this little thing. I can do that, click that little thing up there, and I can edit it right from the front end. So is pineapple good or bad for gout? So we repeated what was in there. Benefits of pineapple for gout: bromelain, vitamin C, folate, fiber. But we have phrases all the way through here. Let's talk honestly about this pineapple juice for gout thing. Pineapple juice for gout. You notice I have a lot of internal links here. Insulin resistance, that gout diet again. There we go again. There's a source to something. That's an outbound link. And it's always good to source your information. Sources most used to validate their claim. Now see, on the front end when I'm using it, like, all I got to do is click that and it opens up a text field. And boom, I can. Now here's another thing. These, if you look at it, that's an H2. H2, bold, 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 H2. So your H1, H2s are really, it's important to have one form of them or another, but it's not critical to be an H1 over an H2 or over an H3. What you're looking for is consistency. And we're going to go ahead and hit update on that. And this is how you go through and do your own page. That's really all there is to it. If you write the article right, it's probably going to work out pretty nice. And as long as you have good information and it's sourced well, you're going to have good results. Now, let me tell you another little secret about links. Okay, let's say we have 10 links coming to this page. And this page is juiced up pretty good and it's doing okay. And I have these internal links. Well, if you have internal links, half of the link juice on this page stays. Okay, half of it stays on the page regardless. The other half is divided in half between outbound links, in other words, links to sources, and internal links, in other words, links to other pages or posts within your site. So you have a 25% of your share, if you link to something, is shared between all outbound links, 25% is shared between all inbound links, and the other half stays on the page. That's the way Google's system works. Now, it could vary 5-10% here and there, but as a general rule, you can look at it that way. Your internal linking is critical. Now, here's why I said longer content is better. The longer the content, the more information you can put on it, the more source links, and the more internal links you can use. So that's the important part here. So this should give you an idea of what you need to do, how you need to do it. And if you have any questions, you can drop links in the comments and on the YouTube video on YouTube, and I'll try to answer them there. If I don't get to them there, ask me again once you're in the course, and we'll just move from there. And this should get us to the next step. Once you have your content placed, you have your articles in there for whatever your first one. Now, like I said, the reason we're structuring this like this is because we're going to have multiple categories in this thing by the time a year is over. And we're probably going to have over 100 to 200 well, probably closer to 200 articles in this thing, and most of them is going to be ranking. Now, here's the thing. Once you do this first category and you've got 20, 30 articles within the gout category, you can also link to individual pages within any category. That's right. So you can take a brand new category, build it out, and you can use link juice from the first category once you get done with the link building marketing process of it. And you can actually make pages that are not ranking rank from internal links only. I've done it millions of times. I've had people that call me and they didn't understand why they weren't ranking. They had poor internal link structure. You go back and do a little bit of work with the wordsmithing of the pages and put some internal links in them, and you get half of their site ranking in 30 days. They have older sites, but it works. You just got to understand the process of it. So you want a featured image. That's something I didn't cover. Now I'm going to open this featured image in another tab. That's another part of it. If you look, well, you can't see it the way I have my screen set. Let me see if I can drag that up. Let's see if I can drag it up. No. Let's get a little higher. Yeah, I'm just going to drag it up here so you can see it. Okay, you see up here, exit confessions, WP content uploads, the date, can apple cider vinegar help with gout? So you can actually share this pin on Pinterest, Facebook, just the image, Twitter, stuff like that, and it'll actually build PR to it, and your image will show up in Google search results a lot of times. If they have image results, you'll end up in it. Let me see if I can get this thing straight again. I shouldn't have messed with that, but I did. Either way, but anyway, this is basically what I wanted to go over, and that's really all you have to worry about. Make sure you put a keyword in your image file name that you would like it to rank for. So let's do apple cider vinegar and gout, and let's see if there's any image results. There's usually some on the first page or the second page. Now, there's some more questions for you that you could put in there. How do you take apple cider vinegar? So forth and so on, which I cover in the page. And let's see if we can find some image results. A lot of times, depending on the topic, you'll see image results, you'll see video results, the little carousels and stuff. And if you want to rank those and you get enough of them up there for the same keyword, now this one probably won't rank because there's not a cluster of them, there's not a carousel for images. But in a lot of places, especially when you're dealing with products, it will. You'll have images up there, and especially if you're doing an image type search like bulldozer. I'm pretty sure bulldozer would have images. Ooh, yep, there we go. Bulldozer images. There's a video carousel I was telling you about, and some stories about it. So they'll even throw in news, and then you have other related searches. So Google's really cool, and they're really easy to get in if you know what you're doing. Hope you learned something. We're about 32 minutes into this thing already, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. And we'll be back for next steps, because once I get the rest of the content in here, which won't be long, we're going to start doing outreach for link building. And you're going to be shocked by what you see there, because when you start doing outreach for links, you may not get a whole lot of links to any given page, but we're going to show you the whole process of how to find who to reach out to through email or through their social media and ask them for a link, and how to do it correctly and politely, and increase your odds of actually getting a link. But the second part of it is you can get some massive amount of social shares in some niches that are incredible. I mean, I've had sites that had anywhere from 7,000 to 30,000 visitors a day for weeks on end for months on end doing outreach to sites that had a lot of people looking at it. It affected a lot of people. So it was something that was important to them, and it was shared by some really, really big people, and the social signals just flooded in. And like I said, I've had in 3 months, or actually in a month, I've had 200,000 page views just from social media for doing outreach. So is it worth your time to do it and do it right? Yeah, it is. You don't skip this step. That's the first step in link building, is outreach. You don't want to do anything else until you do that. So hope this helps. This should give you a little bit of insight into how your pages should be set up. You should have them structured. They should have internal links. They should have H tags. They should look consistent all the way down. And your content should be full. Now this one doesn't have a whole lot of information to it. It is actually not a whole lot of reading, because it's settled real quick. But some are a little bit bigger. So let's see, what was it? This one, I think. One of them is very, very long. Oh, no, not this one. See, I posted a video that's to that 10 steps, how to reverse gout. You haven't seen this. This is a very long post. This is actually my story on how when I first got gout, it was horrible. I was completely crippled for the better part of a year. And it was because of my eating habits. So you can learn a little bit about me by reading this post if you want to do, and it's just exitconfessions.com/gout. Now, if you look at this one's actually category /gout. So they're different pages. So this is actually my story on how I figured it out. And it took me a little while, but once I got it figured out, it changed my life. I lost 80 pounds and got in much better shape. I'm still too young to die. I'm only in my 50s, so I'm not ready to go yet. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you learn from it. And then I hope you apply what I just showed you, because this is not rocket science. This is not hard. If you've done your keyword research and you have a list of all your pages to be able to build with, so you have these, just because somebody, that keyword tool, if it's in this list, that means somebody searched for it in the last 90 days. How many times is irrelevant? Because, like I said, we're still going to rank for this, for pineapple and gout. Is pineapple good for gout? Is pineapple bad for gout? You know, you're going to have all of that. You know, ACV, much longer list. Look at this. You know, and there's a lot of them like that. You're going to rank for every one of these keywords when we're done. Every single one of them. That's pretty incredible. So quit worrying about numbers as long as you have enough variations. And I would say if you have 40 or so variations, you have the makings of an article. It may not bring you a boatload of traffic, but as Gary Vaynerchuk said, one is better than zero. So you will get traffic from because people are searching for it, or it wouldn't be in the tool because that's in Google's auto-suggest. Google uses auto-suggest because others have used that search phrase before in the recent past. That means people are searching for those phrases. That's like all of these, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Now they don't show anything below 10. You know, if it's 9, how many of them have 9 searches? And if you notice, they're in increments of 10. So that, you know, when you're looking at 20, is it 20 or is it 19 or is it 18 or is it 21 or is it 24? Because your next jump's 30 and your next jump down is 10. So you have a wide range of monthly searches. So as long as you've got some searches, and like I said, this one's got enough up top that makes it worth it. Just, you know, just say from here up, you got a couple thousand searches, well over 2,000 searches per month coming in for that phrase, for that group of phrases. So when you keep going down and then you throw in all these that are under 10, you know, which could be 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way down to 1, but there was at least one search or a phrase wouldn't be there, and we will rank for every one of these before it's over with. And I've proven this many, 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 many times, and there's a lot more I'm going to show you on how to make this have a lot more punch. But anyway, we'll see you back in the course. Enjoy your day, and hope this helped.